This is obviously Lord Thaddeus Craig. Alright. This one, no one's really asked me about where the origin of my calling came from. But in the end, maybe it's best I go ahead and do a video about it. Just a minute ago was on Sean's show and I brought it up. I'm a man of my word, I'm going to do a video about it. This happened, excuse me, about, let's say, 10 years ago. Maybe a little longer. I'm 42 now. Damn, 13, actually at least 12, 13 years ago. I was 29 or 30. I think I just turned 30 when this had happened. But anyway, this one is very important. This is something I'm going to tell you guys. It's not just about a paranormal experience I had, but it's a reminder. And that is to take care of yourself as best as you can. If you have mental illness, make sure that your meds are taken properly, and make sure that you get the magic word, sleep. That's right, sleep. It is something that still eludes me at times. Yeah, I'll be honest with you, it's a pain, because sometimes I still struggle with it. I have insomnia. Rarely, but sometimes those who know me know that I suffer from it. This was one of those times back then. It plagued me much more than it does now. It led me down a rabbit hole that, well, I've kind of seen the light at the end of the tunnel, but for a while I thought it was going to be fire. Around 12 years ago, I was not the man you see now. I was much different. I was very immature, and I had a very bad sense of entitlement. I can't tell you if it was the disease, but I think I would say 80% of it was definitely on me, if you get my drift. So, anyway, I was desperate for sleep, and this was a place I would stay at. I'd lived there for a short time before I had my breakdown. I couldn't work. This was like the final 1-2 punch that really hit me. Excuse me. So what happened was I was desperate for sleep. And I was desperate, man. And I had a neighbor. The big guy meant well, but he kind of intimidated me a little bit into drinking a little extra. That was on me for letting him. Now we would have had another situation entirely. But moving on from that. He meant well. He was like, man, you having problems with sleeping? Hell, drink with me. Come on, drink with me. And I did. I drank. I was so desperate that night. I was up all night. I couldn't sleep again. I had gotten a bunch of wine, beer in me, a lot of alcohol, and even a thing of NyQuil that I drank. That right there is what set me off in a very bad spiral. That night, I had a very horrific visitation. It was almost like I was assaulted psychically. Every memory of my life, things I'd buried, even as a child, I mean, a man ain't going to remember all that. I mean, he can recall it, but he's not going to be thinking about that stuff. It was like I had lived every moment of my life, all 30 years at that moment in time, literally all at once, in a matter of maybe an hour or two. It drove me insane. I was shaken. It was horrible. I'll tell you right now, it took me a long time to recover from that. I remember seeing things during this entire period. I saw shadows, tentacles of darkness. When I was in the hospital, my mom had to really help me out during this period of time. My senses were so heightened. I could really hear my own blood rushing through my veins. I could feel almost every molecule of my being. And I knew I was being assaulted. I was being tormented. Of course, during that period of time, of course, you're not going to be able to think straight, but now that I look back, it was a demonic assault. And I know for a fact at that moment, I could feel something trying to break me, and it did. Oh, God, it did. My God, just even talking about this, it shakes me up a little bit, to be honest. I ain't thrilled about it at all, but it needs to be talked about. So, that's another reason I love these so much. Moving on from that. So what happened was, after this assault and attempt at possession, I believe firmly it was, it took me a long time to recover. I was so, excuse my French, fucked off mentally that I could not hardly think for myself. It was an effort for me to even get in the shower or bath and clean myself. My folks were very worried about me. It led me down a downward spiral that, I'm just going to leave it at this. APS was damn near called. The therapist that I was seeing at the time, because this was back in the time when I was going in and out of psych wards, probably 30, 40 times. Because of this instant that happened to me, it broke me. You understand? It broke me. It shattered me. Excuse me being a little excited here, but I'm being very emphatic on, I'm trying to hammer home what happened to me. And at that moment in time, excuse me, after that moment, I didn't think I was ever going to recover. There were some people that helped me out. I'm not going to mention names. I'm just going to call them Stacy and Gwen. Just going to leave, Stacy and Gwen. They're the ladies I'm going to talk to. Not to, but about. They were good people, and they still are good people, but there was a situation where they didn't know how to handle certain things, and neither did I. But they got me off the pills that I was abusing. I can give them credit for that. They got me off the dope that I was abusing, which was my own medication. So I was desperate for sleep. And at the time, I didn't know the difference between that and withdrawals. So, I had this freaking oppression, attempted possession that broke me. And then, of course, I was living in this group home with, that was ran by Stacy and Gwen. And they helped me, like I said. They were good people. They still are. I just don't deal with them anymore. And at that moment in time, it took me, they helped me, and they helped me discipline myself. The thing is, later on, they didn't realize I had changed, and I was a better person. But at the same time, God ran me through the ringer for that, and there were some evil things I had done myself. And I will always have to answer for it to the day I die. He humbled me. If you understand where we're going with this. He humbled me. The Lord let these things happen to me. Over, I would say, off and on, close to 10 years. It, maybe a little longer, it broke me, the situation, and I could not recover. I was finally able to, after my mom passed, I was living with them again. And there's certain things I'm leaving out for a reason, because this would be like an hour video, and that's retarded. But anyway, after I clawed myself back, it was during that period of time, after the humbling experience, like I said, it took me 10 years. I was punished by the Lord. I'm not going to say punished, but he took away his protection from me for at least 10 years. It took me 10 years, if not longer, I'd say 12 actually, to get back to where I am now. Now, I'll be honest with you, DW and the other guy, the rest of the family, they helped me in more ways than you could think out, above, or of, whatever. Bear with me. A lot of times I speak, you guys already know, literally brain to mouth is hard for me. But after that period of time, I finally was able to find my own place. Now you're looking at it. And I was able to actually function. And then, of course, you guys already know, I've been talking off and on. This is back during Harvey. I've been talking with DW. And, we finally reached out. He was like, you know what, man, I need someone I can trust. Can you help me with this? Of course, the Dogman Camps project. You guys already know about all this. And for the most part, I didn't think how well I'd benefit from it. But let me tell you, man, it's given me a purpose. And recently, you guys already know, or maybe not, I was called to possibly preach. And that in itself is important to me. I've been humbled a little more recently, and that's a good thing. And I'm going to continue doing what I do. That's what my calling is. But that's kind of what I let you know, it's through prayer, meditation, family, most importantly. Me reuniting contact with my father, that in itself helped. I was able to repay some debts, which I owed, and just to set certain wrong things right. And I still have to work with that. But I just kind of want to let you guys know, it was through a long period of spiritual searching that I was able to overcome what happened to me in that motel room. And that in itself, there is, I'm not going to say it's anything of my own. It's just that, the one above has had my back, and I'm grateful eternally for that. I still have my private self, my secret self, which we all have. But at the same time, I know for a fact that I will continue to go through and prevail. I figured I owed y'all a little bit of an explanation of my, the origins of what set me on the path. And I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys definitely should pay attention for Sean's new channel. on his own path, speaking of. I will definitely be leaving the credits or the links in the description for this video. Check him out, believe me. He's needing you guys to like and, I guess, promote his stuff. Leave it at that. And you guys already know what I do. I'm the producer for Dogman Cams, Chasing the Truth, Malton Nightmares. Right now, it's probably going to be on hiatus for a little bit. You guys know my email. It's westvic@dogmancams.com. If you've had a cryptid sighting, paranormal experience, hit me up. Facebook, you guys know me. Hit me up in the comments. Email westvic@dogmancams.com. And I'll hit you back. I'll make sure that you get the chance to share your story. You guys be blessed and you be safe.